I wonder why a car like Electra, cars like White Queen, got so many variants. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. People, what's good? We got another balance update. You already know what time it is. Before we even get to it, can you help me get to 7 likes on this vid? Thank you. All right, let's get straight into it, man. So who we got? We got Blob, Destroyer, Viper, Selene, Electra, Dazzler, Big Hercules, Big Percules, and then last but not least, we got Dazzler. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's go ahead and read the changes, talk about them. Y'all know what we do, man. Grab a snack and enjoy the ride. Oh, so they got no picture for Blob. I'll put some up on the screen. All right, so what did they do to Blob? His old power was 6'4", now he's 6'0", and they changed his ability to say merge cards from your deck into this until it gains 15 or more power. Cannot be now, bro. Before I even read this was so needed, man. I played a game the other day. I fought a Blob who combined for 90 points. And I still won the game because he tried to play Taskmaster, but me being the genius that I was, played the Cosmo because I had the advantage to stop the Taskmaster, and I won the game like that. You feel me? But Blob was ridiculous. There's no reason any card should be higher than 32, or actually, because Black Panther could get crazy. There's no reason for Blob to be as good as it was, right? It's so unfair. But let's go ahead and read why they changed it. I'm glad they did. Blob has been a metagame terror for a good minute. So the only surprising thing about this change is probably that it includes a text adjustment within the OTA. This card threatens to create an absurd amounts of power and release valves in the format of Shang-Chi and Shadow King have proven wholly insufficient in restraining that. The latter is a fair bit on us internally. We feared being so easily dusted at the time by a 2/3 Shadow King, one of the strongest cards in the metagame, would be too punishing for the new card. But times change, and it turns out that 4 defensive power was totally unnecessary. Exactly. It was important to retain a couple of key elements of Blob. The first was rewarding eating large amounts of power, especially from high power cards. The second was keeping the total power of Blob variable for the opponent to make the card difficult to combat directly. This change accomplishes both, creating different Blobs depending on the order of the cards in your deck. It also weakens Blob and Thanos specifically, as smaller power cards are more likely to land closer to the threshold. Lastly, it adds an easy dial for us to tune if our math on the right targets for Blob were wrong. The combination of base power and this threshold gives us room to adjust further. So I'm intrigued. I don't have Blob, so I can't even test him, but I'm assuming that if he gains over 15, he'll just stop, right? 15. If the combination of cards he gives pulls him to 15 or higher, he'll stop. I hope that's what this means. I'm glad they made these changes. I'm really interested in this sentence right here though, because they talked about 2/3 Shadow King being one of the strongest cards, and I really didn't see that when he was 2/3 for the time that he was, right? I feel like, so here's the thing about Shadow King, just before we even get to the next card, you can't really, I feel like a lot of people don't run him because he doesn't really fit on decks outside of the Cerebro deck that he fits on, because you really have to, he's like a tech card, but I feel like there's just so many better options for tech that you might consider running instead of Shadow King, right? So for one, you could do Valkyrie, and that pairs better with cards like Ant-Man and stuff like that, right? For two, you got all your tech. So you got Killmonger, Shang-Chi, you got Enchantress, you got a couple more in there. But this is interesting, man. If y'all saw a lot of Shadow King before, let me know. But either way, bro, I'm glad they nerfed Blob. I hope I never see that card again. Next, we got Big Body Destroyer, man. All they did was give him 1 more power. Let's go ahead and read why. This change is reverting a nerf to Destroyer from a while ago. The general power values in this game have improved even among Series 1 and Series 2, where Destroyer's impact was most felt. We'll continue evaluating the relative power of 6 cost cards throughout the year, and we expect to make more changes. Yeah, man, because since they changed like She-Hulk to 10, right? They changed her back to 10. They made Shang-Chi only affect 10 and higher power cards, right? They gave Vision a little power a while ago. You know, they might as well buff one of the biggest cards. And I feel like at some point they should also give Heimdall like 10 instead of 8, because that card needs some love too. We never hear about a card like that. But Destroyer, even though they buffed him, I still don't think it's gonna be that effective, because he's really the Destroy decks that you can use with Destroyer are just worse than your typical Death, Arnim Zola, Noel type decks, right? You can't, Destroyer, he works with armor, which is pretty cool. He works with Warpath, who they also buffed, but it's just, and Nimrod, but those combinations just aren't as strong as, you know, your Venom, you know, your Bucky Barnes, if you feel like it, your Killmonger. You know, it's tough. They low-key could give him even just a little bit more, probably like 17, maybe 18. I might be tripping about that, but I do like that they buffed him as well. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Big Destroyer. Up next, we got Viper. This surprised me, man, because I already felt like the 3/4 Viper was pretty good. We did see Annihilus fall off a little bit more, but it's I really didn't see. If y'all saw a problem with 3/4 Viper, y'all let me know. But let's go ahead and read why they changed it and talk about it a little bit more. We took a conservative approach to adjusting Viper over the holidays for reasons related specifically to Havoc. Unfortunately, those fears were unfounded. However, we've decided to keep Viper at a 3 cost for a few reasons. One is that it lets Viper more naturally combo locations like Savage Land or Shadowland, which reveal on turn 3 1/3 of the time. Another is that it increases the design space for building cards like the Hood as 2 cost cards, because Viper can gift them on curve. So the Hood as 2 cost card, unless they're planning to buff the Hood, there's really no scenarios where the Hood is going to be a 2 cost unless you get Iceman, right? But even then, you're not going to play the Hood unless you have Viper or Annihilus in your hand anyways. So I don't see this, like, what is the power increase for? Like, I really don't understand that. I'm kind of lost right here. I thought she was great already. And here's the thing, like, it seems like they're just trying to account for locations. And, you know, she already did her job with affecting these two areas. And you, like I said, you're not going to play the Hood unless you have a way to destroy it or flip it over already, you know, in your hand, like a Killmonger or a Carnage or something like that, right? So, she got a little unnecessary buff, it looks like. I'm not mad at it, right? I like Viper. Y'all let me know what you guys think. Talk about Selene, though. Yeah, I'm very confused about the Viper, but it is what it is, right? So Selene, they changed her. All they did really was give her +3 more power, making her a 1 power 2 cost card instead of the -1. I didn't really see that much Selene. I don't even think I fought against the Selene, honestly. That the deck, she has like a really niche, you know, synergy with like Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. But other than that, I feel like you don't really want to use her. Let's go ahead and see what which is probably why they buffed her, right? So let's go ahead and read. Selene was originally designed to explicitly combo with Viper and Black Widow, which is why part of her own power was negative. It increased the risk/reward of these strong combinations. However, it turns out that subsequent changes to Viper and Black Widow also weakened these combinations plenty, and Annihilus hasn't been much of a factor for Selene either. So we're adding some power here to let the card better stand on its own. Okay, I get it. So Annihilus fell. Okay, so people are also using her with Annihilus. Okay, Annihilus fell off a little bit, which means she fell off completely, which is why they wanted to buff Viper. Okay, so I'm getting it now. Also, I didn't even think of the Black Widow combo because I've never seen it, right? But it's also, that would have to be on turn 4, right? You would have to do that on turn 4 you play Black Widow first and then Viper. Selene second, which I feel like for a turn 4 combo is it's not that great because you look at things like Shuri, you look at let me just think about some more forecast cards. Miss Marvel that you might want to put out. Let's see. Might have Enchantress that you want to put out. You might be running a Destroy deck or something like that. So you want to get like Carnage and another 2 cost card out. So I mean, it was like a very niche combination. So I guess it did deserve a buff. And I guess I agree with it. If you guys even use Selene, y'all let me know. But like I said, man, I have never fought against Selene, period. So everything I'm really saying about her in particular is speculation. But like I said, man, y'all let me know what you guys think. Cause up next we got Big Electra. It's crazy how they gonna buff her as soon as I finish the Road to Infinite series, man. But let's go ahead and read. So they just gave her 1 more power from 1/1 to 1 cost 2 power. So let's see. We've explored a variety of different directions for improving Electra and will likely continue to do so. Electra has an amazing story and a lot of great variants, but it also plays an important role in teaching new players about sequencing cards and managing different locations. We've wanted to improve Electra for a while to make this iconic character more enjoyable, but don't want to lose out on an important function for early play. For now, we're just giving an additional power and seeing how that goes. So yeah, man, really just for beginners, like pool 1, pool 2, maybe decks, right? Because honestly, bro, once you have a decent amount of cards unlocked, you'll never use Electra again. Let's be honest. Especially with Killmonger and Kyra, like there's really no reason. So this really is only pretty good for the like I said, the pool 1 and pool 2 decks. But for that I like it, right? For that I like it. I feel like even at that point, we just did a whole series. I feel like she was still pretty good even at 1. But this does potentially open her up to be used outside of pool 1 and pool 2. We might gotta use her again and give her her own video. I wonder why she got so many great variants. I wonder why a card like Electra, cards like White Queen got so many variants. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Up next, man, we got Dazzler. So they changed her to a 2/2, a 2 cost 2 power instead of a 3 cost 2 power. Let's go ahead and read why. Dazzler is another card that can use some shine. Our intention with the initial change to 3 cost Dazzler was to see if Silver Surfer players would be excited to pair Dazzler with Brood, but things haven't worked out that way, so it's time to try something else. Dazzler as a card rewards playing efficiently so that you can get all your cards out, which means an energy reduction should be helpful. This is pretty good, man. I don't know if you guys use that like Patriot Brood team. I still use that team a lot. I don't know if you guys even really know it. It's just like Patriot Brood. You use Absorbing Man so you get some more broods, but she would feel like perfect on something like that. It's unfortunate you can't use her with Silver Surfer anymore, but just having her as 1 cost less is also pretty great because with a card like Kyra being in the game, you're able to have more opportunities to fill the board with cards like 1 cost cards because Kyra made way for cards like Khazar, Shanna, and literally just 1 cost cards to be played in general, right? So now you could run her alongside Ant-Man, like they said. You could do something with Brood. You could throw Mojo in there. So yeah, it's really pretty cool, man. I really like this. I didn't think she was too bad, but yeah, man, she did need a little bit of love. So I like how they went about just changing her to be 1 cost cheaper, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think of Dazzler. We got 2 cards left. Big Percules, not Hercules, Percules. So they changed him to 4/7. So before I even read it, I fought one Hercules, just like playing, not even for recording, right? I was just playing just for the sake of, just chilling, and they lost. Right? They lost. I didn't think he was weak. I just think like I don't really. His ability, so the first time another card moves here, move it to another location. His ability is great with a card like, what's his name? The Flame On dude. His ability is good with a card like that, right? The problem is, I feel like since they buffed, but then again, I was gonna say since they buffed Kingpin, I feel like move decks have all suffered. But you can also use Hercules with move decks because, I mean, Kingpin, you can run like a hybrid of a move deck, right? But you're taking away power instead of focusing on gaining your own. So it's interesting. Like I said, I played Hercules once and I beat the opponent because, I mean, they were just moving all around the screen. I wasn't really paying attention to what they did. And they ended up not having as many points as me. So I can't really say if he needs a buff or a nerf just based off my one interaction with him. I'm not going to spend the key on him even after this buff. Let's go ahead and read, man. Hercules released weaker than we like, so we're adding a little power. Our goal remains to try to find an execution that builds an interesting move card at 4 costs because diversing the strategic options across more costs is key for ensuring we have a lot of gameplay variety. We may consider revising the effect in the future if it proves unworkable at this cost. Yeah, man, it's interesting. Like I said, he has a really unique ability. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of many other situations besides the Human Torch or running him with like a Kingpin deck would be beneficial. I mean, obviously like Kraven and stuff like that would also work. But it's just such a weird card. It's kind of hard to have an opinion on Hercules, right? Y'all let me know what you guys like. I really want to hear what y'all think about Hercules though, because I mean, yeah, like I said, man, this card, I low-key speechless about it, so I can't really give y'all a good analysis. But we do got one more card, man, and that is Miss Dagger. So they went ahead and took away some of her power, her initial power, but every time she moves, she gets +3 for an enemy card. So I guess this can also work with Hercules, right? But I mean, let's go ahead and read. Speaking of move cards, Dagger has been one of the weaker ones for a while. We like there to be some extra competition and strength for the archetype. So we're trying a change here that sizably increases the power potential. This does make Dagger weaker to Shadow King. So it's not all upside, but overall, it should improve players' options moving. They say moving forward. Yeah, so yeah, man. So if we scroll back all the way up to the top of the page, right? It seems like they're trying to buff, move cards a little bit, buff the Annihilus decks a little bit without touching Annihilus, and then buff some of the weaker cards that could benefit from Kyera, right? So it's really interesting how they went about this patch. I'm not necessarily really excited for any of these cards because I still, well, I'm excited that Blob got nerfed, right? But I mean, I feel like things won't really change. But I guess that's what a weekly balance patch is for, just to kind of just slightly balance the game. But I don't know, man. This one was pretty interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think of these changes. And as always, man, I appreciate you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. And I'll see y'all next time.